You're moving forward in life towards a fantastic future. You need to plan, take notes, study, record, edit, and create. If you're a student at university, an entrepreneur building your business, or a millionaire expanding your empire, watch to find out if the newest iPad Pro 12.9-inch can help you on your success journey. Let me tell you from the beginning, I've been using the new iPad Pro 12.9-inch, and its form factor and unique blend of features just might make it the ultimate tool for students, creative people, and business people. This is a brand new channel made for you. Hit subscribe now so you don't miss out on other great content that I know you will want to see. I'm a big fan of technology and the conversations surrounding it. And I like to watch videos from tech YouTubers. But when it comes to their coverage and their reviews of the iPad, it seems that they have distanced themselves from the needs and the requirements of the average man and woman on the street. This is because when it comes to the iPad, there is a certain degree of snobbishness. What they do is they compare the iPad unfavorably to a full-powered Mac or PC laptop. And they underline that in comparison it's not as powerful. And they're right. However, they are asking the wrong question. It's not whether the iPad performs the same as a laptop, because it has its own unique features, its own unique uses. The question they should be asking, the question you should be asking is, does it perform the task I want in the most convenient way possible that fits in best with my life? So, let's take a closer look. The iPad is one of the quickest ways to interact with a computer, and I often am trying to get my ideas down as quickly as possible. It is brilliant because it doesn't impede that flow of creativity. This is the iPad Pro. It's the largest, most powerful model in the iPad family, yet weighs just 641 grams. And with the thinnest bezels, it's also the best looking. Its computer brain is the Apple A12Z chipset that is combined with a large 6GB of RAM. So demanding programs like video editors and music sequencers run smoothly. The core of the iPad is its amazing screen. It's what you see, it's what you hold, it's how you interact. It has 600 nits brightness, so the screen can stay readable in bright daylight, and an anti-reflective coating to diffuse the effects of light shining directly on the screen, meaning you can sit outside on a sunny day and still be able to read what's on screen. It also has a 120Hz display, so when you swipe across the screen or view content with fast movement, such as compatible games, they will look smoother and feel more responsive. In fact, so rare is this, most people won't have seen a screen look as fluid in their life. I know this probably all sounds a bit stats and figuresy, but the meaning of it all is that any image you see on the iPad should look just about better than anywhere else that you can see it. iPads have been criticised for their functionality because you can only use one app at a time. And whilst that is fine if you are consuming content, it is not so good if you want to create content. So with the more powerful iPad models, the iPad Pro, what Apple have done is they've upgraded the software, specifically the capability to split your screen in two so that you can have two apps open at the same time. So you can have one window to read and study and another window or app to type and write. And whilst the iPad experience, the touch experience of using the iPad is so great, it cannot be argued that sometimes you would like to be able to type, because that way of inputting text is more efficient. And so what Apple have finally done is they've given some new options, some new input methods to the iPad Pro. You can now use a mouse or trackpad with the iPad Pro. When you are working with a large body of text, it can be really beneficial because you can move the pointer to jump from one part of a document to another quite easily, and you can highlight text and cut and paste far more accurately and speedily. Apple, now mindful that people are using their iPad Pros for more work-related tasks, have also released the Magic Keyboard, which has a built-in trackpad to take advantage of the pointer. Whilst there are other keyboards available, What's unique about this is the ease in attaching and removing the iPad to it. You just need to move your iPad near to it and it will attach itself using the powerful built-in magnets. And when you are done working, you can just pick the iPad up and take it with you. Also available is the Apple Pencil 2, a stylus for the iPad Pro. You can of course use it for graphics and other productivity tasks, but one of its features that has a more universal appeal is its ability to let you add handwritten notes to documents, and with the right app, to turn your notes into searchable text. What I personally regard as one of the greatest features of the iPad Pro 12.9 inch is its ability to allow you to read text documents. Now, I know it might not sound very exciting, but hear me out. As a student, you regularly have to read documents. Now, some of these research papers and dissertations that I read through, they could be 60 pages up to 100 pages. What the iPad Pro does so brilliantly is that it allows you to read A4 PDFs and other text-based documents at almost full size in a convenient form factor that you can carry around like a book. Inbuilt to the iPad, it's got 5 microphones, and these are used for recording sound and determining the direction of the sound, which is great if you're recording outdoors. It's really useful as well in a lecture because it means you can sit there with your iPad, you can press record, you can record whoever's speaking, and on top of that, you can also use other functions of the iPad as well, such as being able to write your notes at the same time. Really useful if you want to play back a lecture to yourself afterwards. The iPad has a set of cameras that put many smartphones to shame, so it's lovely for taking pictures and video. On the back, it has a wide 12 megapixel camera and an ultra wide 10 megapixel camera with 2x optical zoom and 5x digital zoom. Out and about on a bright day, photos can look colourful and sharp, but if you are in a low light situation such as a dark room or outdoors in the evening, then photos look less sharp and grain will be visible. The Pro also has a range of video recording modes including 4K at 60 frames per second. Play this footage back on a 4K TV and you will likely be amazed at how hyper real everything looks. On the front, there is a 7 megapixel TrueDepth selfie camera, and it's also used for video calling, so when on a call people will see you in extra high detail in comparison to a lot of the primitive cameras that are in computers currently. The TrueDepth camera is also used with Face ID, and Face ID is the password system to unlock your iPad and get access to certain features and websites. And on the back with the other cameras is something called the LiDAR scanner. Whilst normal cameras, they see the world in 2 dimensions. This sees it in 3 dimensions, and it's used specifically for AR apps. And AR is augmented reality. So with the correct AR app, you would hold the iPad and perhaps look at an empty wall, and in front you can see a 3D image of an object. And this can be used for seeing a preview of products that you might want to buy, for example, from the IKEA store. Now with a device that is so thin, you wouldn't imagine that the speakers could reproduce sound effectively. Using this, the sound is actually quite full. It is not tinny, it is not muffled, but it is clear, and there is a degree of bass to it as well. And so the upshot of all of this is that you can sit down, put the iPad in front of yourself, and you can watch a TV program or Netflix, or you can listen to tracks from Spotify, and it will all sound good.
That white dinner wasn't delicious.
One addition to the iPad Pro that makes it more useful to content creators is the addition of the USB-C port. This enables you to connect a variety of external devices, including memory cards, which can be so helpful when you are working with large video files. The new iPad Pro 12.9 inch is a remarkable device, a remarkable computer that can be used for so many productivity tasks. And of course, you could buy a lesser model, but first ask yourself which iPad Pro exclusive features you could do without. The iPad Pro 12.9 inch. Quite honestly, nothing blends all these uses so well. It's worth considering if this is the perfect tool for your success journey.